So, all right, I got some catching up to do. You discussed Steve Smith and Jeudy beef, right?
Mhm.
Did you read Danny's question here?
No, I didn't read anything.
Not question. I'm sorry, not question. Comment, and we agree with
No.
this. She said it wasn't necessary to embarrass Jeudy on live TV like that. Stop bootlicking for your coworkers, Steve. Yeah, look, because I'm gonna comment on what you just said in a minute, B, but I want to catch up on this. Yeah, Steve Smith, man, he's always had this little man complexity about him,
Mhm.
right? Or complex, whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
About him. He feels disrespected, he acts out that way. And he kind of alluded to that a little bit, how he's trying to be more mature about it. He tried to walk it back a little
He
bit.
said, but not today.
Yeah, he tried to walk it back later, and he tried to make it, black on black, shouldn't be doing all that. No, it ain't. That's not what it's about, bro. It's about your ego. You know what I'm saying? It's about your ego. I don't even have a problem with you criticizing his game, right? Call him just a guy, whatever. Look, I mean, that's fine. You're critiquing his game, but the whole, well, hey, I tried to go and apologize to him, and he said, "Ninja, I don't mess with you," and this is and that. Like, you ain't gotta go through all that, man. Like, you know what it is, man. Like, you're in the media. Sometimes players just don't like what you say about them, and they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say to you. That's fine. Just let it go. You don't know him. He doesn't owe you anything. You don't owe him anything. Just go about your business. Say, hey, look, try to have a conversation. He really want to talk to me. He has some issues with what I said in the past. But that's fine. I don't think he's trash or whatever. Whatever you're gonna say, man. Just if you need a minute to calm yourself down, man, take that minute. But you embarrass yourself by doing that.
Yeah, because the fact that you went straight to the insults because he didn't give you time for your apology means that you weren't serious about apologizing anyway.
Right. Exactly. Just say, be the bigger man in that moment. Say, okay, look, he didn't want to talk to me right now. I get it. Jeudy, hey, if you took it the wrong way,
you disrespected him.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say disrespect. Look, when you're critiquing somebody's games, you're not gonna if you're not playing well.
But it's the way he critiques people. He critiques people in a disrespectful way.
It all depends on how you take it. Look, I tell you all the time, when you call somebody trash,
yeah, it's disrespectful. And listen, if I ran into James Prochet, I'm not expecting him to be super happy. I mean, he ain't hear these shows. But if somebody pointed him to these shows,
are you sure about that? Because his uncle had a lot to say to us. I feel like he does. I feel like
a lot to say to you. I ain't talking to that trash family. No, I'm joking. But if I ever ran into James Prochet, I wouldn't expect him to be happy to meet me.
But you don't actually you don't mean disrespect. Right, you don't have anything against James Prochet.
Only when I'm talking Chris Paul. Only Chris Paul.
Even Chris Paul, you said, hey, he seems like a pretty.
He seems like a good guy off the court, but he's a menace on the court.
But you're talking about his game. You're not talking about but you're not talking about you're not talking about him as a person. You're talking about his game.
I don't have anything bad to say about his game either. All right, because what we're talking about is not part of the game of basketball. Okay, and I don't know how the NCAA and the NBA let this guy step on their courts for so many years with the act that he pulls all the time. But that's neither here nor there. You can go. I'm sorry. Please continue.
But when you say somebody's trash, you're not talking about him as a person. You're talking about his game. It's not meant as disrespect, right? It's the same thing with Steve Smith. So however he wants to critique somebody's game, I don't have a problem with it, right? I don't have a problem with it. I don't expect the player to like it either, right? That's all I'm saying. But it's okay for Steve to say, "Hey, look, all right, man, I get it. You took it as disrespect. I don't mean disrespect by it. I'm just calling it how I see it. If you don't want to talk to me, that's all good. That's all good, right? Like that's going to happen. This ain't going to be the last time it happens for Steve Smith, because you're in that business. You critique players' games. Some players are going to be good. Some players are going to be bad. And when you call them bad, they're not going to like it. And that's fine. You don't need to be everybody's friend. Everybody doesn't need to talk to you. It's okay. Let that one go. And even that part, right, when he's discussing all that, okay, fine. The part that I really have an issue with is when he's saying, hey, when teams call me asking about you, I'm going to say, hey, don't pick him up. Don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be that type of gatekeeper, man. You don't know him, right? First of all, teams shouldn't be calling you. about him because you can't speak to his character. You're not friends. So if the teams, Ravens and Panthers, call you, first of all, I got an issue with it. If the Ravens are calling you, you guys already know how I feel about EDC. Don't be referring to a former player in reference to a player that he never played with and doesn't know. Right? Yeah. Lamar has a better rapport with Jeudy, so they shouldn't be calling Steve Smith about Jerry Jeudy. Okay, neither should the Panthers. If they're calling to saying, hey, what do you think about his game play? That's different. How do you feel about him as a wide receiver? We respect your analysis, right? Cool. But if he says, well, I don't like him, I don't like, that he can't handle criticism, and the Panthers say, okay, Scott Fitterer says, okay, thanks, Steve. I'm gonna cross him off my list. That's a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
But that goes to what we talked about with Scott Fitterer too. That's the thing that happened.